What? So you gonna handcuff me and take me to jail?
Yes, ma'am. I got you. Put you in these right quick, okay? They're gonna be in the front.
Ooh.
Let's get into it. No words until after everything is said and done.
82-year-old grandmother was arrested for a $77 trash bill. You will say, nowhere in the hell. Put up the picture full mass of this victim. It's a damn shame. This was in Alabama. The woman you're looking at was arrested for a $77 trash bill. One of the officers who came to arrest this beautiful soul, Miss Martha Manifield, an 82-year-old black woman. Cop comes to arrest her for failure to pay a $77 trash bill. He told her not to cry. He tapped her on the back as she was already in handcuffs. "Don't cry, Miss Martha," she recalled him saying. He kind of whispered it to me, "Don't cry. Let me tell you something. If I was a cop, and believe me, I never would be, but if I was a cop and I had an order to go and arrest an 82-year-old woman for a $77 trash violation, not paying a bill, that would be the day I took that damn uniform off." And listen, you cannot love a job so much that you're willing to sell your soul in order to clock in. Let me give you more background. When the officer told her not to cry, Ms. Manifield looked back at him and said this: "How would you feel if they came and arrested your grandmother?" She asked the officer. He did not respond. When two officers pulled up outside her Valley, Alabama home on Sunday, this grandmother did not know why they were present. The officers, one white, one black, got out of the car, approached her home, and one of them stated they were there to arrest her for failure to pay the trash bill. What did she do? What did this grandmother do? She laughed. She thought it was a joke. She thought somebody was pranking her. This can't be real. We're in America. It's $77. Okay, obviously you're playing. Ms. Manifield just laughed. She genuinely thought the officer was joking. He didn't budge. "You're not kidding," she recalled asking him. He wasn't. He was there to arrest her for failure to pay $77.80. She thought the bill had already been paid. She said Thursday afternoon, sitting on her front porch's rocking chair, but they said it hadn't. Ms. Manifield said the officers told her they would have to place her in handcuffs. She put her hands behind her back. "The front will do," they told her. Ms. Manifield slowed as she told the story. She held her arms out in front of her. "And the cuffs," she said, her eyes swollen with tears, "they're so heavy." On Tuesday, the chief of police, Mike Reynolds, defended the arrest, put up this SOB.
Incredible.
He defended the arrest in a post on the city's Facebook account. The chief stated, city code enforcement officers issued a citation, August 2022, for non-payments for the months of June, July, and August. And that prior to the citation, they tried to contact Ms. Manifield several times via the phone and in person. In the post, he also claimed when contact could not be made, a door hanger was left to explain the reason of their visit, had contact info for her to use. Wow.
Incredible. Incredible, man. So you telling me that 70-something dollars, what was a $74 trash bill, can actually position this woman to get police to come to her house and treat her like a criminal for a $74 trash bill? So I'm a little confused about the law. I have to go back and look at some things and maybe speak to some attorneys. But to me, I thought a debtor's prison was no longer a thing. And so my whole concern about this is is if this can happen to someone who's 82 years old, what if they came to somebody whose door, what if they came to someone's house who was 25 years old or 30 years old at their doorstep? How would this have played out? How could this have been a negative outcome for that individual and for the police officers involved, and also for just the whole community at large? To be honest with you, everybody within that community should be concerned. That means you can do everything right. You can buy your house, you can pay your bills on time, and then you fall behind on a trash bill, not electrical, not your mortgage, not rent, but you fall behind on a trash bill, and that turns you into a criminal. There are people out there who are coming into this country illegally. There are people out there who are killing and murdering and shooting guns and owning guns illegally, but they're coming after all the law-abiding citizens. And this is a concern in general across the country. This happened in Alabama, but I'm sure if we do some more research, this is not an isolated incident. So we have to really ask ourselves, where is this country going when we start arresting grandmas? Why wouldn't the cops come together and say, a lady, a 82-year-old lady in Alabama who's behind on $74, let's go ahead and put $1 in everybody. Everybody put $1 in instead of having lunch today, or instead of having coffee today or what have you. Let's everybody put this in a jar and pay her bill, because there's no way we're going to go and arrest her. And I totally agree with what's being said is that if I was a police officer and I had to go to someone's house who was 82 years old to arrest them because of a $74 bill, that would be the day that I either turn in my badge or have an argument with my manager or supervisor, or really get into it and really make my voice heard.
He said further, the citation advised this grandmother, okay, to appear in court on September 7th, 2022. A warrant for failure to pay trash was issued when she did not appear in court. The chief also argued, while officers can use discretionary judgment on certain matters, executing an arrest warrant signed by a magistrate judge is not one of them. I'd be damned. I know a couple of cops would not have served that warrant. They're good people. Better than you, chief. It's a grandmother, $77, okay? There's more. On Thursday, Ms. Menifeld said she never received any of this. She never received any notice to appear, never was told to go to court. She said that her trash bill had not been paid. Her trash should have simply been taken and her pickup suspended. But arresting her, she said, was unjust and unnecessary. We concur, madam. Menifeld said she wasn't in the Valley jail for long, but believes she should have never been there to begin with. I was in a little cage-like thing at the police station, she said. And I said, y'all put me in this cage? You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Let's go to the mayor. Valley Mayor Leonard Riley. Martha is one of at least 24 residents arrested over unpaid garbage fees. They've become targets of a process that has criminalized debt in the city, which contracts its solid waste services to a private company. So far, city officials have been largely silent on the matter, with the exception of the chief's statement defending the actions of the cops. Why are these people going to jail? Because of a private damn company. This is to enforce compliance by any means necessary, to increase the bottom line, to have more money in the budget, to take care of a private enterprise at the expense of the same people who pay your salary, chief. She pays your salary, sir. She's a homeowner, taxpayer, a grandmother, a human being.
This is what I'm saying. So you can be a homeowner, taxpayer, elderly, and here at Dream Young Arts and Media and Dreamyoungmedia, just on a channel period, we look at special needs as not just the people who are listed as with a special needs. We look at the elderly as those people as well. Because think about it. They're getting older. They're aging out. They need services. They need help. They need assistance physically, financially. And this is what they do to the people who are elderly in our community, which they should be honored. Our veterans, they should be honored. Our elderly, they should be honored. So it doesn't matter if they pay less and we pay more. They're elderly. So to share and all of our profits to help them live a better life would not be something that I don't think the most of us would be against, because at some point we all get there. So to me, this is very concerning. But there is a silver lining, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But to me, this is very concerning because we're the lawyers in the city. Why is a private enterprise benefiting off the backs of elderly people if they can't pay their bills? Now they have a charge on their name. They basically become criminals for $77. I think I said $74 before, but it really is $77 that we're talking about here. But at the end of the day, this is very concerning. So let's just go ahead and continue to listen.
Let me give you details on the other arrests that have been happening in this jurisdiction. A review of court documents revealed that individuals arrested over unpaid trash fees in Chambers County are often people facing financial difficulties, people of color, or people with disabilities. That's who they're locking up. Some residents, records show, have been arrested repeatedly, and most charged criminally with failing to pay a trash bill. They end up paying hundreds in court costs and fees in addition to the bills themselves.
So which makes this even more disgusting. The city is going after, I don't really want to call it low-hanging fruit, but the city is going after people who are not equipped to fight as aggressively. Because when you get older and you're on a limited income and you have a disability and you're on a limited income, you're really focused on survival. You are not really thinking about, oh, somebody charged me an extra $1, so let me go after this bank because they charged me this fee. Trust me, we've been there. We've been there where our consumers, they are not looking at the $2 that's being taken out of their account every month because it's a processing fee or what have you. It's up to us as the coaches, as the service providers to catch those type of issues. But it's the same for our elderly. Grandma is worrying about how she's going to eat that day. Grandma's not worried about, oh, the bank stole $1.50 from me for a processing fee because I paid my bill with a check for the last 2 years. You know, those are things that I used to catch on my grandmother's banking statements or our consumers' banking statements. So they're taking advantage of the people who are in most need of services and help. That's even more disgusting in my opinion.
What are you looking at? Let me remind you, remember Ferguson? They did the same thing at Ferguson. They would constantly hit the community with these ridiculous charges. As a matter of fact, when all of that went down in Ferguson, eventually a new judge got elected. What did that new judge do? That new judge, actually appointed by council, suspended all of those ridiculous citations. Money, bias, greed, racism, bigotry, all intersecting at the same time in this small community.
You Martha Minifield?
I am.
Miss Minifield, we have a warrant for you.
For what?
Not paying your trash bill.
What? So you're gonna handcuff me and take me to jail?
Yes, ma'am. I got to. Put you in these right quick, okay? They're gonna be in the front.
Oh, wait.
I got to, okay?
You gotta be shaving yourself. Arresting an 83-year-old.
I am so sorry, but the law is the law, Miss Minifield.
That was 82-year-old Alabama woman Martha Minifield, who was handcuffed and arrested for not paying a $77 trash bill.
I'm not joking.
Sorry, I don't mean to cuss, guys, but this is disgusting, man. This is disgusting.
So you're gonna handcuff me and take me to jail?
Yes, ma'am. I got to.
What did I miss?
I mean, as an officer, or as a first responder, or as a man, or as a woman, or as a person of God, or it doesn't matter, as a human being, man, I would have paid the bill for her and probably patched up those holes that are in her walls. Probably cut her grass and brought a team out there for $50 to cut her grass. If I seen that this old lady was struggling to pay a $77 trash bill and she's a homeowner, means that she's done everything right, but she's probably just going through a rough patch. I don't know if you guys were born with silver spoons in your mouth, but I wasn't. I don't know if y'all was born rich, but I wasn't. So I know what it is not to have $1, not to have a meal. And me going into a situation like this, I would not have treated this lady in this way. I would have found a solution. I don't care if I didn't have it. I would have asked the neighbors if they got $1 a piece. I would have figured out something to assist this lady with trying to get over this hurdle without going to jail and being handcuffed at 82 years old. But I'm off my soapbox, guys. Let's move on. It's disgusting.
I'm so serious. It's a warrant.
And he's laughing at her.
And he's laughing at
her.
He's all your information.
It's nothing funny, man. And he's laughing.
That's how I knew where your address was when it come. You sure you got a phone call from the code enforcement about a month ago saying, hey, you need to come pay your trash bill.
Wow.
The reason I'm not saying anything because my daughter takes care of that for me. You know, I'm just saying.
Okay, well, she has not been doing it. And you got to go with me today. Anything you need to grab right quick you can, and
I can't believe it.
We'll be going on down the way.
Yeah, I don't want to bring tears to my eyes, man. I ain't gonna lie.
It'll be $285 to get out at the PD. If not, I have to take it to the county jail.
Oh, Lord.
And so she owes $77, but to get out of jail is going to be $285. So they already are putting her in debt. She's starting out with $77, but to get out of jail is $285. If she can't afford $77, what are you doing? What are you doing, man? She's trying to process it.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you in these right quick. Okay, they're gonna be in the front.
She's
I got
concerned.
you. I got you.
She's
Okay?
confused.
Arresting an 83-year-old.
Yep, she's right.
I am
so
sorry, but the law is the law, Miss Man.
You should be ashamed of yourself, bro.
Miss Manfield, we gotta get ready to go, okay?
Okay, what's up? Key. They arrested me for not paying my trash bill. And you know, Prince always pay my trash. Tell your mom, get somebody to come and get me now.
Okay.
This is why good-hearted people should have $100 million.
Y'all come on Sunday.
This is why people with good hearts should have billions of dollars.
We do them all the time. They just happen to get around to you on this day right here. We took two more in yesterday. They were saying the same thing. Y'all came on a Saturday. Yeah, we're going to come around right here.
On a Saturday?
No problem.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, my bad. I don't want you to fall in the water puddle. Okay.
There's somebody in that community that's doing something way worse than being a homeowner who fell behind on your trash bill. But that's what they're going after. They're utilizing our tax dollars to arrest our grandmothers for not paying their trash bills. But they're using our money to do it. And it's frustrating. It's frustrating. It's irritating. It's sad. It's demonic. What are we going to do about a situation like this? This can be any of us as we get older. What is the solution, guys? What is the solution? So I'm asking all my dreamers, everybody that's subscribed to us, if you're not subscribed, if you are into the content that we make for people with special needs, and I include people who are elderly in our equation. they have special needs too. Veterans, they have special needs. I'm confused about this.
No,
They're actually doing it. They're actually arresting her on a Saturday. Probably had dinner plans. When I come back, we're going to get into the Trae the Truth and how he's blessing this 82-year-old lady with some perks and benefits. So we're going to get into that next. Stand by. And so this is what I wanted to share with you guys. Incredible. Incredible. And I just want to take my hats off to Trae the Truth. You showed up and you showed out for, Mrs. Martha, right? And so Mrs. Martha is going through whatever she's going through, and you showed up because you had the resources, the access, and the connections to make this happen. So this is a beautiful thing, man. I'm just gonna play it. Check this out, guys.
and we laid out there. Where did Trae come from? Really. He I can't tell you. All I know is the Lord sent him.
The Lord always sends him.
He sent him here to help me because things was going on that I didn't understand. And he came, and the way he talked to you, and then he'll say something and then he'll do it.
He does.
Just touched down in Valley, Alabama. Right now we about to pull up to Miss Martha house. For those who don't know, that was the 82-year-old that they took to jail that long. I helped to raise money and other things, but the blessings don't stop. I went to her housemaid, her home needs to be rebuilt.
Blessings don't stop.
Need furniture. It's crazy, She's so peaceful and humble. Only thing she wanted was to have a recliner with a cup holder. That'll made her day. But what we did instead is coming out here with a whole new house full of furniture.
Let's go.
We're gonna have a little bit of everything for us. So I'm about to pull up and surprise her, man. I'll keep y'all tuned.
Salute. Salute, bro. Salute. Man, that's incredible. I love to see this, guys. I love to see this because this is a start. It's a spark, you know what I mean? That can start a flame, that can start a fire. Her house is looking better already.
Follows him that he showed.
Yeah, hands on with it. And he hands on.
Y'all gonna be blessings, I'm telling you the truth.
Incredible. Blessings. I like that. Nice brand new couch with it. Incredible. Incredible. Right now, I want everybody. We need as much support as possible. We trying to do something different, right? And so our different approach is really about positive social change. We are a nonprofit. We are a 501c3. But we need as much support as we can out there. We want to bring you more stories. We want to be able to do this full time. We are juggling behind the scenes. We are juggling and hustling in so many different areas of life, and we won't stop. But if we can do this, and this can pay all of the bills for this, that will be a big plus, guys. If you can help us get to that point, subscribe, share, follow us on social media, all different platforms. Everything is at Dream Young Media. Everything that we do is at Dream Young Media. So follow us on those platforms. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, etc. Spotify, Apple Music, anywhere that you get your podcast, we exist or we live. So follow us and support us there. It's a small team that we have of individuals who are truly passionate about making an impact and making a change. So help us grow our network, help us to grow our reach, help us to grow our resources so that we can do some bigger things long term. And, thank you.